Hello, family and friends. Once again, good morning. And how are you doing wherever you are? I hope you are having great time. So feel free to enjoy your life because your life is more important than any other thing that you really, or that is really bothering you in this life. You need your life more than anything else. So I want to share with us and encouraging you to stop believing them. Stop believing whatever you hear. Stop believing whatever you see, especially in your dream. Those things you see in your dreams are just like mental picture according to the business of the day, or sometimes, as I said some time ago, it is because you lived in the world before you were born again. That's why you have certain dreams of certain places you haven't been before, physically as you are now, but you have been there before. You're supposed to know that your life is more important than your dreams. Your life is more important than your needs. Your life is more important than whatever that is around you or whatever is coming against you. So you're supposed to brace up and begin to live your human life perfectly. You can live well when you begin to tell yourself the truth, when you begin to know that nothing will happen unless you do something. Nothing happens because you just say something, to you. Unless somebody that is angry and come against you, that's different. But you cannot wish money and money comes to you. You have to go and work for it. You have to go and beg for it, or you have to go and steal it. But when your wish cannot give you the money you need, your wish cannot give you the job you need, your wish cannot give you the certificate or whatever you need in this world, you have to work for it. You have to go for it. It's like acquiring knowledge. Knowledge will not come because you are just sleeping. No, knowledge comes because you go for it, because you ask for it, because you go after it. That's how it comes. So stop believing. When you say you believe, you are accepting something as real, especially when it's not real. When you believe in what Bible says, in what Quran says, in what Torah says, in what a pastor says, and what somebody says, and most times they are gossips, most times they are myths, most times they are fictions, and you accepted them as real, you accepted them as truth. It becomes real to you, but it's not real in a real sense. It is not real in reality. That's why you believe that there is power in the name of Jesus, power to heal. But it cannot heal your headache. It cannot heal any sickness in your family. You say God can do, you believe God can do all things. But see many things in your family God has not done. Some of your family members have done. God did not heal their sickness or cure their diseases. And they died. You buried them. God did not bury them also. Or God did not resurrect them to prove there is a resurrection power. But you believe those things. And that's why you are living as if they are real, why they are not real. You are just living as a mental patient, as a psych patient, as somebody that is a lunatic, as somebody that have lost his or her mind. So you have to regain your mind and begin to live in reality. Stop believing them. Whether it's good dream or bad dream, stop believing them. Work. If it's good one, work it out. If it's not good one, ignore it. Ignore it. You are the one that give them power. You are the one that give that man that is controlling your life. You are the one that give that man power. For example, do you know our people still believe that maybe somebody is responsible for their not progressing or for their failure? Nobody is responsible for that but you. You are the one that give them power. If you believe that a native doctor is evil, then you will think he's against you or he's the one hindering you, and you begin to cast them out. You are the one that give them power. God is powerful. Religion is powerful in your life because you accepted them so. The day you stop believing them, they will just die natural death in your life. They will die natural death in your mind. You will no longer be having nightmares about them. You will no longer be having sleepless nights about them because you no longer give them power. You are the fuel that keep the fire of religion burning in your life. You are the fuel that give the fire of God burning in your life. You are the fuel. That's why they need you. They say that God is seeking for a man. I sought for a man to stand in the gap. Why? Because God is useless without man. God cannot do anything without man. It takes man for God to act. That's why you pray. If God really exists, you don't need to pray for him to do anything for you, because you also believe he knows all things. He is everywhere and he can do all things. Come on, use your brain and think for yourselves. I'm not just asking you to think, but think for yourself. There's another thing that is belief. You think something is real when it's not real. You think this person is against you when that person is not against you. You think this person is a thief when that person is not a thief. That's why you see some people kill somebody that stole. They think he's a thief, but they didn't judge what made this person to steal. Is it poverty? Is it from poor family? Is it from stingy parents? You have some rich parents, their child or their children are stealing too, because they refuse to give them something they need or something they want when they know they can have it. They start stealing from their parents. Show me a child that have not stolen anything from his or her parents, whether it's rich parents or poor parents. So when you believe something, you give them power. Stop believing them. You are the one that is making that church growing. Am I trying to stop religion? No, you can never stop religion. Religion is like an idea. You cannot kill an idea that is already out. You can never kill it. Some people must still be religious. But what I'm doing is I want to empty religion, because religion is the hellfire. Hellfire must be emptied. I don't want anybody, whether my enemy or my friend, to burn in hellfire. When you are in religion, you are burning in hellfire. You don't have your life. You are suffering. You have that fear that is tormenting you. You have that thing that is keeping you down. You think somebody is against your progress. Shut up. In America, nobody think that anymore. But in Africa, they still think that. Why? Because of poverty. If Africans begin to have steady power supply and high-speed internet connection today, you will see how religion will begin to decline. You see, in abroad, they are closing churches, selling churches, turning them into factories and all that. But in Africa, they are closing factories, turning them into church. You see warehouse that they were doing business before, now it is church. Because the outside world, outside Africa that is controlling Africa, they are will I say like 20 years ahead of Africa or 100 years ahead of Africa. What you are doing today, that you are converting your factories into church. They said when there was something in America, churches were buying factories. It's no longer like that today. They changed because they found out like we suffered this, we will not suffer it again. But Africans, when they suffer, they think there's somebody that's against them. Oh, it's because I didn't fast good, or because God is not doing anything. You are the one that give that God power. That's why I keep telling you, the God you fear and worship, you are nicer than that God. You are stronger than that God, and you are wiser than that God. If that God is nice, nobody will perish. If that God is wise, nobody will wait for him to come and tell him anything. He will know what you are passing through and help you and solve it. And if that God is all powerful, you don't need to even tell him anything or speak for him. Stop believing them, my people. Many people, like my parents went to church in Onitsha because people gossip a lot. So a guest speaker, they already gossiped to the guest speaker about my parents, about me, saying that I'm saying there is no God, there is no Jesus in America. And the stupid guy, or stupid reverend, or stupid man of God, whatever that man is, he begins to say, there's a woman here, your son is in America. That's gossip. They turn gossip into prophecy. They turn gossip into into vision. That's what they do. They turn their judgment. I judge this. If I judge this, I sense it is God saying it. Then they open their mouth and begin to tell you, thus says the Lord. God said this. They are lying to you. You are the one that is giving them power. They gossip. They turn that gossip into vision. Is that not how TB Joshua operate? That's how this prayer houses operate. When they tell you to fill your form and list your problem or whatever, they fax it or they send it to the man of God. Then after some hours, service starts, right? They tell you the man of God is coming from the altar of the Holy Spirit or from whatever covenant is coming from. And they begin to say, there's somebody here, you have been suffering of this, blah, 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 blah. They just use you. They just use you they use your information to prove that their God exists when it does not exist. You say, I've experienced the power of God. You went somewhere, somebody that didn't know your name say your name. It's a lie. Somebody told them your name. Somebody told them your address. They tell them your story. They tell them how you are fighting with your husband because you gossip to them. You tell them. If you didn't tell them, nobody else will know. No God know anything about you. That's why even the Bible, God have to test your mind. They have to test your heart to know what is in it. You are the only one that know what is in your heart. No God know what is in your heart. No devil know what is in your heart. So I'm calling you to wake up and stop believing them. Stop believing those who are turning the gossip they hear about you into vision, into prophecy, into revelation. Stop believing them. They cannot do anything. If you believe they can do anything, that's when it will begin to affect you. But when you begin to know they cannot do anything, it's only what you allow that will happen. And whatever happens, you are greater than that, whether good or bad. You can change it. No condition is permanent. You have the will and the power to change that condition. Whether it's good, you can change it to better. If it's better, you can change it to best. And if it is bad, you can change it to good. You are the one that have the power. You are the God that exists. The God you imagine, the God you believe, the God you fear, the God you worship does not exist. Think about what I just say. Judge what I say. Don't just believe it. Don't just accept it. Do your own research. They will not know you unless you tell them about you. They will not know you unless somebody that know you tell them about you. And that dreams you are having is because of the thoughts you have, because of the business you had during the day. That's why you're having those dreams. Don't let them control or ruin your life. Know that you have power to change them also. Please do it and continue having a great life. Peace.